Norwich and Colchester both have games in League One. David Golly reports.
Having kissed and made up with stay-away keeper Michael Theoklitos, Norwich City manager Paul Lambert has quickly turned his attention back to League One and tomorrow's trip to struggling Carlisle. City, now pushing for a playoff spot, have plenty of injury worries. The main one, skipper Grant Holt.
Lads have come in and done great, but Grant's been a massive part of what we've done this season, and hopefully a bit of luck he's going to be okay.
It's looking good for Colchester under their new boss, Aidy Boothroyd. The U's are fourth in the table and are well in touch with the automatic promotion places. Tomorrow's visit to Leyton Orient, managed by United's old boss, Geraint Williams, could prove a stiffer test than it looks on paper. The East London side desperate to improve their home record.
You're only a minute away from getting a real kind of slap in the face, because everybody's competing and it's ruthless out there, and somebody's got to win, somebody's got to lose, and you don't want to draw. So we'll be making sure that we get amongst them and get them ready for this game.
No championship action for Ipswich Town this weekend, but still some good news. David Norris is hopeful of an earlier return from injury than expected. He damaged cruciate knee ligaments at the start of the season, but now hopes to be fit by the end of the year. David Golly, Anglia News.
The number of people in Norfolk who have agreed to donate their organs after their death has risen by 100% over the past year. The Norfolk and Norwich University Hospital became one of the first hospitals in the country to appoint a special transplant coordinator. Mary Garside is a former accident and emergency nurse who talks with relatives and helps them make informed decisions about organ donation.
Now, they're the unsung heroes of the Second World War. Female pilots played an important part in the RAF between 1940 and 1945, but are often forgotten.
Not this weekend, though. The Imperial War Museum in Duxford will be commemorating their role with the first simultaneous flight by female Spitfire and Hurricane pilots. That's since 1945. Well, Emma Baker's been to meet the women who are stepping back in time.
Here they come, the women with wings ready to fly for their country.
It could be a scene from 1945, but rather than leading the way in war, these two ladies are keeping up tradition in a modern age. One in a Spitfire.
It fulfills all your senses. It looks wonderful, it sounds wonderful, smells divine, and it flies as better than you would ever imagine an aeroplane could fly.
The other in a Hurricane.
It's just fantastic, you know, from a pilot point of view. I mean, it's a dream come true again, because it's the best thing you can possibly do.
They're following in the footsteps of the female pilots of the Second World War. Women like Maureen Pott from Norfolk, who we spoke to last month about her days delivering aircraft from the factory to the front line. Today, the aircraft for these two pilots is virtually unchanged. Once inside the cockpit, you really can see that all these controls here were just as they were for the women in the 1940s. All of them apart from one thing. This radio has since been fitted in here. Of course, back in the 1940s, the women didn't have such a luxury. Once they were up in the skies, they really were on their own. 168 women signed up to the Air Transport Auxiliary in the 1940s, all keen to do their bit for their country.
I think you better go by the East Coast route, and when you get there, don't forget to send your signals.
The women face sexist attitudes and low pay at first.
The daily delivery of operational aircraft is only a man's job. Training machines and other less powerful planes are piloted by the women.
But their contribution proved invaluable.
Topside pass, gently curved to the west. I'm going to pull up into wing over, and you go on line astern.
Now, decades on, Carolyn and Anna are commemorating those achievements at Duxford this weekend, with the first simultaneous flight by female Spitfire and Hurricane pilots since 1945.
Spitfire 7's wind northerly 5 knots.
It's like being a bird, a very good bird. Spitfire is an aeroplane that you put on. As you can see, it's very small, compact aircraft, and you really do feel like you've grown a pair of wings.
Spitfire request.
Spitfire.
Can you advise me your level, please?
2,000 feet.
Understand.
She really is just the perfect aeroplane.
Hurricane surface wind 0105 knots.
With the roar of the engine and the unspoilt views of the Cambridgeshire countryside, it's little wonder these women love taking to the skies in such privileged style. Now they're looking forward to displaying to the Duxford crowds in memory of those who first showed them how it's done. Emma Baker, Anglia News, Duxford.
Would you?
No,
Wouldn't
never.
you?
Incredibly brave women.
Yeah.
Just watching that plane turn makes my stomach turn.
I just like the way, was it the voice from the cockpit or the tower saying, where exactly are you at the moment? I'm upside down. Right, now this...